Hi, everybody. My name is Josh Gomez from Magic Image Hollywood Magazine, and we are here with the beautiful, talented, and very important person, Tiffany SMITH-ANOA'I.
You got it. See? You got it. We're good to go.
Thank God, thank God. She is the Executive Vice President, Entertainment, Diversity, Inclusion, and Communications for CBS.
That's right. That's me.
It's a long title.
It's a long title.
I know.
That's a good thing, though.
Yeah,
I've earned it.
Yeah, that's not easy to get there. Okay, thank you for your time. It's a pleasure being here.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. So we're gonna ask you a couple of questions about you and your career and projects.
Okay, sure.
So tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, how did you start in the entertainment industry,
Yes.
and obviously how did you start working for CBS?
Okay. I am a native Angelino, so I'm a real California girl. I love being from Los Angeles. It's the entertainment capital of the world, so I was almost born into it, if you will. How I was able to transition into this career, one of the things I always like to tell a little bit of a story. When I was 8 years old, I'm watching football, and I see a woman sports broadcaster come on the screen, and I'm mesmerized because number one, a female sports broadcaster, I never saw that before in my life. And then she was a woman of color, and her name is Jane Kennedy, and she was one of the first female sports broadcasters of color at that time. And at that moment, at 8 years old, I'm looking at the television, I said, that's what I want to do. I knew exactly what I wanted to do at that moment because I physically saw it. Now, I went to college. I'm a proud Howard University graduate and went into my first internship, ironically, was with CBS, the CBS affiliate in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
And once I went into the newsroom, I realized I don't want to be a sports broadcaster. So internships are always great to show you what you want to do or what you don't want to do. But I knew that I wanted to be within entertainment. And I was able to, a lot of in this industry, it's definitely going to be about who you know, who knows you. And I had an amazing friend that gave my name to put my name in the hat to become a publicist at CBS. And that was over 17 years ago.
Oh my God.
And I started off as a publicist, and I represented the PR for various shows on the network. And then after doing that for a while, I really saw a need for an entertainment diversity executive.
Yes.
And I created it in my head, made sure I did a nice little PowerPoint presentation for my boss, and marched right into that office and said, I don't think you realize how smart I am. You're not managing me in the most effective way. This is where television is going. And at first, I think he was a little taken aback, but I know that I could see in his eyes that he respected that I had a vision. And I ultimately wanted the corporation to do better within this arena. And so I was able to, again, long story short, I was able to create a position that did not exist at a major network, and I'm really proud of it. And it's about that representation. So it all goes back to that little 8-year-old girl watching the television.
Wow, I love it. And so you created your own position.
I did. I did.
And you had the balls, if I can say that.
I don't have balls, but I had the wherewithal. That's what they always say.
Yeah.
I had the vision, I had the passion, and I still have that passion to this day. The same fire that was in my belly 17 years ago or 10 years ago is still the same that I take with me every day to this role, because it's so important for others to see themselves reflected on television and film and magazines, and we know that it matters.
Yes. That's exactly why we think about you and your story, because we think you can inspire other people in the entertainment industry or any other fields.
Yeah, I would love for others to get into this industry, because I think a lot of times that people just don't know that these jobs exist, not just my own, but I would say a variation of casting. I would love to see more casting directors of color. I would love that. I would love to see within all of it, because before, if we truly truly want to diversify this industry, we have to be within those hallways and giving our perspectives. And it's not always, I would say, only, let's say, ethnic diversity. This is diversity of thought, diversity of experience. I told you earlier, I'm a native Angelino, so I might think a little bit differently than a native New Yorker. But I want to hear that perspective. And I think that when you really create enough space for someone, they can flourish.
Yeah.
But you have to give them the space.
I agree. And can you give us, or what advice would you give to any person thinking about it or trying to make it in the entertainment industry here in Hollywood?
The biggest advice that I would give anyone that's watching this, that wants to get into this industry, is that you really want to make sure that you're doing your homework. You want to make sure that you are what we call on my team a student of the business. So that means you're reading the trades. You know the ins and outs of a network. And in this day and age, everyone has a cell phone right now. So there's no excuse not to be able to look up you can look for a job in bed these days, right? Whereas when you and I were younger, we had to pound the pavement or we had to fax.
Yeah.
I don't even think that, young people know what a fax machine is right now. But I would really, the biggest thing that I can say is internships, because internships is really an opportunity into the industry, and it's year round, and they're paid now. We weren't paid when we were interns. I know I wasn't. And it's a little bit of a different industry because it creates relationships. And this industry is definitely based upon relationships because people hire who they know. Yeah. People hire who they feel comfortable around. So usually with the intern, everyone's nice to the intern. So that's what I would say. I would love to see more students applying and securing internships, because that's a nice entry-level way into the business.
Yes. Thank you. Define what success means to you.
Success. I think that success for me personally, meaning that I have reached a goal that I set for myself every day. So there is no pinnacle of success, because to me it's something that you're consistently chasing for. Because the rules change, the day changes. Success means to me, really, I think at the end of the day, that I help someone and that they are going to help someone else in that turn. So that's what success means to me.
Who have been your biggest mentors in your career?
The biggest mentors in my career, personally, it's definitely going to be my mother, because she shaped me into everything that I am today. However, professionally, I would say it's a multitude of people, because I'm inspired by so many creative people that I meet. Sometimes I'm inspired by an intern that you gave me a fresh perspective. And that could be someone that's a mentor in the sense of, because I think that sometimes when we use the word mentor, you think of it like Yoda. You think of it like an older, wise person, but I feel that you can learn from anyone. You really can, from their experiences, why someone feels a certain way. But there's been, I can't say just one or two people, but I mean, obviously I would say my mother, because she's the one who, raised me and developed me, as well as my father. I mean, it wasn't like he wasn't around. But I would say there's been, and also, who also is a mentor to me? My boss, Chris Ender, who believed in me when I walked into that office that day and said, this is what I want to do. And he's consistently made space for me and said yes to me. Yeah, and so I would definitely say him. Yep.
Hi to, what's his name?
Chris Ender, right? Ender. Chris, he did it. And you know what? Also Nina Tassler. Nina Tassler, our former chairman, she is the second person that was in that step of saying yes to me. And she was the one that ultimately was like, would be crazy not to do this. And then it happened 2 weeks later. Wow. So both of those people here at CBS have definitely been huge supporters of mine, and I'm forever grateful.
Yeah, that's destiny. That was just destiny, I think.
It was, I think, and fate.
Faith and hard work, obviously.
Absolutely, and perseverance. And that's the other thing that I really encourage others, that you have to remain relentless in whatever your pursuit is, because this business, you're going to hear no way more than you're ever going to hear yes. Yes. And so it's important to have a thick skin, to make sure, like I always say, no means not right now. Doesn't mean no forever. But just, okay, not right now. I'm going to circle back and, maybe we can talk about it again. So I think that that's important to know also, that I think that some people are so guarded, that they don't want to hear no, so they just don't ask. And 9 times out of 10, people are more inclined to say yes to you if you ask.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, I think the same.
And what
way.
do you have to lose?
Nothing.
Oh, someone said no. Okay.
Yeah. You can
On to
say
the
no
next.
to me all the time, like especially
Yes.
girls. But
Yeah.
that's
Well, you
another
know,
story.
that's another interview.
Okay, can you tell us? Well, I think you did already, but
Yeah.
why CBS is cares and is producing like and casting diverse
Yeah.
shows and
And I
doing
think
that
that
because other channels they don't care, like
Yeah.
they don't do that.
No, I think that almost every other channel does it. So I wouldn't say that, but I would say what my department really, we want to reflect the audience that we serve. And I think that my team and we go about that day in and day out. And it's not solely what you see in front of the camera. That gets the most attention because it's what you physically see first. However, we really want to make sure that we're bringing new writers into these rooms, fresh directors. And when I say new or fresh, that doesn't mean that they just graduated college. It just means that we haven't utilized them and their talent until now. So I think that that's why that it's a smart business imperative also, that there's a whole segment of the population that has tremendous buying power. And if you're not tapping into that and utilizing that, then you're not going to be sustainable in that. So that's definitely why we want to do that.
Okay.
I want other little girls and little boys to see themselves on television and say, oh, I can do that. I want to do that.
Yeah, me
But if you
too. We
can't
need
see
that,
it,
yeah.
you can't be it. I want other people to hear people who speak with an accent that you should be on television. It shouldn't be like, oh, can you lose your accent? No, that's what
Exactly.
makes you unique. That's what
Exactly,
makes you
yeah.
fresh. So I want to hear that.
Yeah, and LA and the whole country is like very diverse. Like
Absolutely.
some people, you know, they are closed-minded
Yes.
and they don't want to see it, but that's what we need: more shows, more
Yes.
politicians, like diversity in all aspects of
Absolutely.
life, yeah.
And I think that media obviously plays a big part into it because it's invited into our homes. It's in our living room, it's in our bedroom, so it's very close to us. And if you're only seeing certain images of people, it becomes true to them, especially if you live in towns where you are not able to meet someone who looks like you or me. Your only window to them is through the television. And so what we're trying to do is just add a different perspective. No one's saying that everyone that's of color or disabled or LGBT has to be perfect, but when do we reach parity? Because we've been like this a long time. So I'd love to at least see different, fresh, unique perspectives.
I totally agree. So can you tell us if you're working in on other projects, like with the shows or
Yeah.
a personal project?
Yeah,
or-
for one of the things that we have a lot of initiatives, and I would encourage others to make sure that they visit our website. And we have an incredible writers mentoring program, a directors program, a showcase for actors. We also have CBS on tour, and that's near and dear to my heart. And that is where we bring all of the executives from our hallways from different departments into local colleges and universities to talk about the plethora of careers that are available that you just don't know about or that you just don't think about that aren't acting, directing, or writers. So this is going to be casting, finance, publicity, marketing. These are all roles that are here. Reception. I mean, think about like when you walked on to the lot today, those were all jobs. And I would love to see others populating those jobs a little bit more. So those are what's going on, with us and my team. And we really have an incredible, passionate team behind what is going on at this network.
Yeah, I love that, and we were talking about it a few minutes ago because you have a lot of Hispanic people, Latinos working here too.
Yes.
So that's very nice, and thank you.
Absolutely, it is. It's my pleasure, and that's not why they were hired. They were hired, and that it's a bonus. I love being able. I'm always talking to Riza McDuffie, like she speaks Spanish. Mitzi speaks Spanish. I want to learn that. I want to be able. That's why I was asking: is the magazine in Spanish too? Because then maybe I could write something, or they would, for me, just to be able to speak to that audience as well. But I think that again, they add a fresh dynamic to the team, a different perspective, and I tap into that. I want to ask them, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
And the more that you can invite people into your world, the more I feel that you're able to really explore what this beautiful country is about.
Yeah, I do that too. For my company, I also,
Yes.
ask people like, hey, what do you think about this? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's always important to see what other people think.
Absolutely.
Okay, what would you be doing if you weren't involved in show business?
What would I be doing? You know what I would be doing, and I still want to do? I would love to be a professor. Because, yes, I think that I'd be a...
Like elementary or?
No way. I don't have the patience for that. No element, nothing within K through 12. So this would be at the collegiate level.
Okay.
I would love to be a professor and talk about what I do. And there's so many classes now that are not your traditional reading, math, history, and those are all important, of course, but I would love to teach, and I think that I definitely will one day, just about diversity within the media and why it is so important. And I think there's a tremendous amount of misconceptions about diversity because we hear that word a lot lately. Yes. And it kind of it's like, oh, diversity, shimbversity, like, oh, here they go again. And it's one of those where to me, I think that whenever you've spent 5 minutes with any member of my team, you will know that it's not just like, oh, it's someone crying about it, or, oh, it's corporate charity. No, it really is, to me, something that is definitely going to change the way that we view each other and respect one another also.
Yeah, I love that, and we want to support you
Yes,
and
I
the
appreciate
network
it.
and
Yes.
everybody who's doing that.
Absolutely.
And anything you want to add, like how people can contact you? Do you have a Twitter account?
I do, yes. I love, that's the one thing. I'm not on any social media except Twitter. And I have a funny story about it. About, I think 4 years ago, my boss was like, you know what, everyone should be on Twitter. We should, this is blowing up, so we need to be on it also. And I really was resistant. I was just like, oh gosh, what am I going to talk about? I don't want to, I don't care what someone ate or pictures, or I didn't want to do it. And then once I got on and started following really incredible people, I realized, wow, I really like this. So that is a medium that I love. I have met a tremendous amount of people on Twitter that I've now met in person, and I always call them like my Twitter friends, but now they're becoming real friends. But my Twitter handle is at @SMITH-ANOA'I, and that's T and then SMITH, last name ANOAI.
On the website, you said to check.
And the website, please check the website. It's cbscareers.com.
Okay.
Yeah, for internships. I can't stress enough the internships. I just don't think a lot of people utilize them enough, and to me, there's always something available. If you're not available in the summer, there's fall internships, there's spring internships. So I think that would be very important to utilize that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tiffany?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. This was wonderful.
It was a pleasure.
It was
and
my
you're
pleasure.
So nice,
Thank you so
smart,
much.
and beautiful.
I really appreciate it.
And,
Keep doing what you're doing, because without you doing this, I wouldn't have the platform to even talk.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we are all working hard, and
Yes.
now we need to work harder because of
Yes, we do.
the current situation in the country.
Yes, we
that
do.
Everybody knows.
Yes. Talking to you.
Yeah. This is Jos Gomez again from Magic Image Hollywood Magazine. Thank you, Tiffany, again.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much for having
and
me.
we'll see you soon. Thank you.
We'll see you soon.